In the last video, we talked about derivation of cosine rule. And I hope you can still remember the formula. We've got a square equals to b square plus c square minus 2bc cos a. And then we can have b square equals to a square plus c square minus 2ac cos b. I hope you can remember. Then lastly, we have c square. Now, because we started with c square, we'll be having a square plus b square minus 2ab then cos c. Does this make sense? So these are like the three formulas for cosine rule. I hope you can still remember. Now we have a triangle AB has sides AB equals to 10 centimeters, AC equals to 12 centimeters. If angle BAC is 45 degrees, calculate the third side. Now this is pretty simple. The first thing you want to do is to kind of draw the diagram so that you can see what is going on and you can really understand what you need to do. Now let's draw this diagram. Triangle ABC, so we label it ABC. We are told that line AB is 10 centimeters, so this part AB is 10 centimeters. Line AC is 12 centimeters, so this part is 12 centimeters. If angle BAC is 45 degrees, if angle BAC, now normally when we've got an angle like this or a representation like this, the angle that is being referred to is the angle in the middle. So it means that we have angle A as 45 degrees. Does this make sense? So angle BAC would be referring to the angle in the middle. Does this make sense? We are told to calculate the third side. So basically the third side is line BC. So we are told to calculate line BC. We can represent it as small a because it's the side that is facing angle A. Does that make sense? So we are trying to look for small a. Now the next thing we need to do is to kind of check if we can use cosine rule for this question. Now I hope you can remember the criterion for using cosine rule. The first one is that you know three sides and you are told to find an angle. The second criterion is that you know two sides and one angle, and you are told to find the third side. I hope you can still remember. Now in this case, we know two sides, we know one angle, and we need to find the third side, so we can use cosine rule for this question. Does this make sense? So let's try to remember the formula for cosine rule. Now in this case, we are told to find A. So the formula we'll be using would be A square equals to B square plus C square minus 2BC cos A. I hope you understand this. Now remember, the side facing B would be small b. The side facing C would be small c. Do you understand? Now we know B to be 12 centimeters. We have C equals to 10 centimeters. We have angle A, which is this angle here, equals to 45 degrees. And we are told to find side A. So we slot this into the formula. Can we do this? It then means we have A square, which we are trying to find, equals to 12 square plus 10 square minus 2 times 12 times 10. That is basically what 2BC means. Cos 45. Does this make sense? So it then means we have A square equals to 12 square is 12 times 12, 144, plus 10 square is 10 times 10, 100, minus 2 times 12 is 24. 24 times 10 is 240. So we have 240 times cos 45. Cos 45 should give us 0.7071. Now I need to note here that the first thing you want to do is to do this multiplication. You don't do 100 minus 240. No, you forward do this multiplication. I hope you understand. Now let's solve the remaining somewhere up. So we have a square equals to 144 plus 100. That will give us 244. Minus, now I multiply this. Do you see I did not do 100 minus 240. I have to multiply 240 by 0.7071 first. So 240 times 0.7071 will give me approximately 169.7. So I've got a square equals to 244 minus 169.7, 74.3. So we have a square equals to 74.3. But remember, what we are trying to find is a, not a square. So we'll find the square root of both sides. So it's like square root cancels square. So I'm left with a equals to square root of 74.3 is approximately 8.6 centimeters. And here's our answer. So we have calculate angle theta in the diagram below, and then we've got this triangle PQR, and we are told to find theta. So let's do this. Now remember, first thing you want to do is to try to label, so you would know the kind of formula to use. So the side that is facing angle P will be small p, the side facing angle Q will be small q, the side facing angle R will be small r. So we have side PQR, and we are told to find this angle P. So it then means that we are going to use the P formula of the cosine rule. Does that make sense? Let's try to solve it so that we can make sense of this. So now, because we are having PQR, not ABC, we are going to use the PQR form of the cosine rule. Does that make sense? So we are going to have P square equals to, what's the other two sides we've got? Q square plus R square. Can you see? Minus 2QR cos. We started with P, so cos P. Does this make sense? Do you see why we are using P? Because only when we use P, we are going to have cos P. And cos P is theta, which we are told to find. If I decide to use Q, I'll be having Q square equals to P square plus R square minus 2PR cos Q. But it's not Q I'm told to find. It's not this angle here. Does this make sense? So that's why it made sense for me to use the P derivative of the formula. Do you understand? And don't be confused with the letters. If I'm giving M, N, O, I don't care. All I need to do is just to use the format. So this M, so I should be having M square equals to, what other sides do I have? N square plus O square minus 2 NO cos M. As simple as that. I hope you understand this. Now let's note what we're given in this question. We know that R is 12 centimeters. We know that Q is 11 centimeters. Then we know that P, angle P is theta. What else? We also know that side P is 15 centimeters. So we slot this into the formula. Does this make sense? So we'll be having 15 square, since P is 15, equals to 11 square plus 12 square minus 2 times 11 times 12 cos theta. I hope you understand this. 15 square is 15 times 15, and that will give us 225. So we have 225 equals to 11 square is 11 times 11, and that is 121, plus 12 square is 12 times 12, that is 144, minus 2 times 11 is 22, 22 times 12 is 264. So we have 264 cos theta. Do you understand this? So it then means we'll be having 225 equals to 121 plus 144. 1 plus 4 is 5. 2 plus 4 is 6. 1 plus 1 is 2. So we have 265 minus 264 cos theta. Do you understand this to this stage? Let's solve the remaining somewhere up. So 265 will go and meet 225 because they are both numbers. So it's like we are collecting like terms. So we have 225 minus 265 equals to minus 264 cos theta. I hope you understand this. 225 minus 265 will give me minus 40. So I have minus 40 equals to minus 264 cos theta. Remember, what we are trying to find is theta. So I've got to divide both sides by minus 264. So I divide both sides by minus 264. Minus 264 cancels minus 264. Minus cancels minus. 40 divided by 264 will give me approximately 0.1515 equals to cos theta. Now I need to note that most time we usually take this to 4 decimal places. So note. Now we've got 0.1515 equals to cos theta. But what we are trying to find is theta, not cos theta. So it's like we divide both sides by cos. That's how it looks like. But to find theta, all we need to do is theta equals to cos inverse of 0.1515. Do you understand? So if you have sine theta equals to 0.8660. To find theta, you do theta equals to sine inverse of 0.8660. If you have, say, tan theta or tan alpha equals to 0.7071. To find alpha, all you need to do is alpha equals to tan inverse of 0.7071. I hope you understand this. So the way you get this is on your calculator, you press shift and then press cos before you type in the number. Does this make sense? So we've got theta equals to cos inverse of 0.1515 is approximately 81.3 degrees. And here is our answer. I hope you understand this topic perfectly. I really hope you do.